And if you're not muted, I'm just going to go through and mute you right now. Yeah, just for the time being. We'll do some. So the way that this is going to go is I have a few activities planned for everybody today. And then once we're complete with that, we'll really open up this space to be in a sharing circle or questions and answers if things are coming up for us. Like, this is a beautiful space to get related. But first and foremost, I really want to invite everybody to drop down into our body so that we can start to really get present to what's there, what's so in the feeling center of our body and in the action center of our body. So my name is August Rose. I am a water woman in August Rose's web of consciousness. I named my mandala this because I really feel the vibrant aliveness of the way that this Dream Weavers movement creates a web or tunes into the web that connects all things with all things. So this is a beautiful way for us, primarily as women, and I know sometimes men are in these weaving spaces as well, but to really connect our inner lights to each other. And if anybody's heard of Indra's net or Indra's web, it's this concept of the goddess Indra who saw that there was light in the world, but noticed that there was a disconnection between us recognizing our light. And so this gem of consciousness that was one whole being scattered itself out across the universe, across the cosmos. And Indra cast this web or this net out of these strings that connected one jewel to the other. And each of these jewels are reflecting the light that lives inside. And so that's what I see this mandala is a way for us to connect through the web of consciousness and reflect and amplify our lights off of each other. And we do that, of course, through getting connected with what our dreams are, and then empowering and supporting and encouraging each other to live into those dreams. So that's what's alive for me when I come to recognize, why am I in this Dreamweavers movement? Well, I really see that this works, that this has worked on an internal level. And now as a water woman, I really see it potently on an external level. I'm 4 gifts into my 8 gifts of completion. And so, yeah, it's super exciting. I feel so blessed. I feel so unbelievably blessed and so grateful. It's just expanded my capacity to recognize what's really possible in the world when we come together to encourage and support each other. And I get 4 more opportunities to really lean into the edge of what's here for me to open up, to be willing to receive. And I believe in the lunar pulse, and I've noticed throughout my time in the mandala that something inside of me constricts a little bit when the lunar pulse comes up, because it can feel really daunting. Like, how do we complete in a week, in our one element in 1 week? That's the lunar pulse. It's really intense, right? And at the same time, it's really not. It's as simple as each wind integrating 2 fires in 1 week, and it's totally doable because anything is possible. And because when the movement is really alive inside of us, we want to share. And we know that this movement is, in fact, a movement that works because we've seen it in the water women who've come before us. And that's what our sacred guardian sisters are here to remind us of. And so this is a call that I've put together to really just encourage us to drop down into our activity center, because the only reason that the mandala doesn't complete within a lunar cycle is because we're not fully connected in our action center with our heart, our feeling center, and our sacrum, our relational center. And so this is a call to invite us to kind of drop down in and start to connect those 2 things and really activate the solar plexus. So if you're in a space to do so, I'm going to invite you to really feel your sit bones rooting into the ground, or if you're standing, feel your feet rooting down into the earth, into the ground below you. I invite you to close down your eyes if they're not already, and you have the space to do so. And to start to feel your spine lengthening up off of itself, lifting through the crown of your head and relaxing your shoulders down your back. I'm just going to invite us all together to take a deep belly breath in. So breathe into your belly, feel it expand. That solar plexus gets a little larger, expanded deeper. Hold that breath when you reach the top. Just be still, relax for a moment. And then open up your mouth and let a sound come out if it feels good as you exhale. Ah, give yourself a sigh of relief. We'll do this 2 more times. Breathing in through your nose, fill your lungs, fill your belly. Holding your breath when you reach the top. Open up your mouth and let the breath go. Ah, letting the vibration carry out whatever's not serving. Breathing in again, filling your belly with the radiance of your being. You're creating a force field around yourself as you hold your breath at the top. You're still, you're calm, you're protected. As you exhale, you fill your essence into this bubble around you. You release the sound. And then just sitting nice and still, let your breath begin to flow easily in and out through your nose, but see if you can keep your belly engaged in this breathing process. Just slowly and subtly becoming aware of what's happening inside. Breathing in and breathing out. Now we're going to do a little bit of a movement to actually tune into the what so of our inner belly space. So I just learned this practice recently. I learned to do it standing up. So you're welcome to open up your eyes for a moment if you'd like. We're going to get a little bit more activated in our bodies. Our nervous system is calm, so we can go into action. So you can sit down if you want to. I'm going to stand up for this demonstration. So if you have the space and you'd like to stand, you can do that as well. It's going to be a really simple activity. And I found that what came up for me inside of my body as I did this was quite profound. So here's going to be the activity. I had my hands in light fists right here at my sides and my elbows tucked in at my rib cage. And it's just this movement of the belly. So keeping the rest of my body as still as possible, I just start to move my belly. So really moving from the center of the solar plexus, just doing maybe little twists around it, little shimmies side to side. See if you can breathe deep into your belly, soften your whole body, and just move your belly. Moving and noticing what's coming up. We're tuning into and inviting the body to give us an awareness of where there's something tight, where there's something that we're holding onto inside. So just moving that belly. Stay with the movement. And if something comes up, see if you can keep moving. And when something comes up, some of the tendency might be for the shoulders to come forward, for the body to try to protect itself. But see if we can stay open and keep breathing. Breathe into your belly. Feel that slow, calm breath. Invite something to stay open, to stay activated. And moving and moving. If nothing's coming up for you yet, see if you can move a little more. See what you're feeling. And this is an invitation to just move and feel. We're going to do this for about 15 more seconds. Just move and breathe. See if you can isolate the movement here into the belly. For me, the rest of my body wants to start dancing and get involved, but really keeping that movement in the upper belly abdomen space. And then in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, come to a still stand. Just notice what's there. Let your arms drop down to your side. Relax. Breathe into the belly. Notice if you feel a vibration, a hum. And then we're just going to do a little bit of tapping on the belly. You can use your fingers or you can use your fists. And we're just going to start to break up whatever energy was coming up. It's meant to come out. It's ready to get released and unlocked. So really focusing on that solar plexus space from your sternum down to your belly button. Maybe tapping a little bit on your lower rib cage. Just tapping, breaking it up, breaking it up. Beautiful. Maybe opening up your mouth, maybe a sound wants to come out. Vibrational release lets go of things in a way that we can't when we're silent completely. Ah. Taking this tapping up into the chest, up into the heart space. Rolling through your shoulders, maybe, as you're just letting this heart start to open, start to transmute some of this energy that we're moving from the solar plexus, opening up the heart. And then letting our hands come down to the low belly. I'm actually going to say that we'll start to stop tapping and just place the hands on the hips and do a little bit of movement from side to side with your hips. So now we're dropping this solar plexus energy down into our sacrum, down into our hips, our feminine essence. Our female spirit can speak through the hips. Like Shakira says, our hips don't lie. So they'll start to tell us, what are we doing? What are we feeling? What are we healing with today? Just shifting hips side to side, maybe taking a big hip rotation in one direction and the other. We're just moving. And then coming to a standstill, we'll just shake it out. So the final action here is to just shake out the body. Maybe jump a little bit, wiggle that head, your shoulders, your body. You're just moving, shaking it out, letting it go, letting it free. Again, if sound wants to come and release, let yourself give a little holler, a scream, a shout, a laugh. Shake it out. Shake all parts of you. Shake your shoulders, your belly, your head, your hips, your booty. Shake it all. Let everything release. And then come to a still standing position and just feel, wow, what does it feel like to be in my body right now? Can you feel that? Can you feel the activation? Can you feel how much a little action has awoken so many parts? Can you start to embrace whatever it is that you're present to? It might be a feeling that's really good, but it also might be uncomfortable. Whatever it is, can you give it a hug? Can you give it some love? Can you wrap that part of yourself up with your next deep breath in? Breathe into the space where you feel the most sensation. And breathe out the permission that you give to that part of yourself to be exactly as it is. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to change. Action just gets us present to the reality of what's so. Thanking your body for giving you this roadmap to your inner self, to your inner world. Breathing in deep. Exhale, let it go. And then inviting you all to come back down to a seated position if you're standing. I'm just going to get related a little bit more close and personal here. Beautiful actions. Thank you, everybody who joined me in that. So we're going to take a couple more deep breaths. Yeah, Chantal, do you have something to contribute? I'd love.
Yes, actually, when we were shaking and doing the tapping in our bodies, and we're looking for like what stands out for us, sensations, should it just have been in that area or could it have been anywhere on your body?
Yeah, that's a great question. Anywhere in your body is perfect, right? Your body is your teacher. So I can guide us where we want to take the focus, but wherever the focus needs to go is what our body will show us. It's a very good question.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so let's just drop down again and kind of return to that equalized nervous system state. So take a deep breath into your belly, close down your eyes if you can. Open up your mouth and let the breath go. Two more breaths like that. Breathe in. Open up your mouth. And a third time, let this be your deepest inhale yet. Really fill your lungs, really expand out into the belly. Deep, deep breath. Big open mouth, big sigh of release. And just stay in that stillness. Stay in the presence of whatever it is you just got related to. Really noticing what you feel inside. We're going to do a few minutes of a meditative inner exploration. And just as Chantal reminded us now, whatever comes up might be anywhere in your body. We've activated the solar plexus, the activity center, and that expands out far beyond the physical body. So it can touch and bump up against anything inside of us or outside of us where we're feeling a block. But right now, we're really looking for what's happening in the inner world. Can you be present with whatever you feel? Notice as you look inside, what do you see? Do you see a color or an image or a pattern? Maybe you're not quite as visual, but you're in tune with the feeling, the sensation, be it soft or sharp, heavy or light. Just scanning the body from the head into the face, and the jaw and the neck and the ears, into the shoulders, the arms, the elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers. Scanning the body back up to the shoulders, down to the heart, the chest, the rib cage, the lungs. Down into your low belly, your upper belly, your lower belly, your back. Dropping your awareness down into your pelvis, to your sit bones, to your tailbone. Feeling your thighs, your knees, your calves, ankles, feet, and toes. With awareness brought to every part of your body, take a deep breath in, and as your lungs fill, see your body filling with this golden light from your toes to the crown of your head, filling your body with gold, golden energy. Holding at the top, feeling yourself full. You are the light. Letting that breath go, and letting your body empty. Pouring that golden light of abundance out into the world around you, because there's a whole nother host of golden abundance to fill you up with your next breath in. Abundance is like your breath. It's everywhere. It's all around. And you will be so filled by it. And every time you let it out, you're giving the gift of abundance to the trees because you've transmuted this abundance into a new form. And because our world lives in sacred reciprocity, the trees are producing the abundance that we need in harmony with every breath we take. They give that life back to us. To feeling the roots drop down from your tailbones, rooting yourself like a tree, just a different kind of tree. And drawing up the energy from the earth as you use your inhale to fill your body with that golden light. The exhale takes in through an open crown, an open space above your head, the energy of the heaven, the realm of heaven, whatever that means to you, whatever the Garden of Eden looks like to you, opening up your mind's eye and your consciousness to receive that down into your body now. And start to get real, start to get grounded about that visualization. What does heaven on earth look like to you? What do you see? What do you notice? What would that look like in your world? Who would be there with you? What would you be doing? What's surrounding you? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you feel in your heaven here on earth? And if there's one woman, one being, one person that you could invite to be present with you, who would that be? Who do you want to share this with as this reality becomes present for you that you are living in heaven? Maybe in this moment it's in your mind, but feel into this. If this is true, and because you can imagine it, it can be, it's possible. Who do you invite to play with you? And I invite you to breathe down into your low belly and let the spiral of the sacrum expand into the solar, fueling the solar with your emotions. That solar plexus expands and it blasts open your heart. And as your heart blossoms, I invite you to send your heart energy out to whichever person or whoever the people are that you would most like to join you in your version of paradise, in your heaven on earth. Because the truth is, paradise is beautiful, but it's only as beautiful as the community that we get to share it with. So we're inviting in that community, inviting them into your heart, sending a big blast, a big frequency of love to them, whatever they might be experiencing in this moment. Let them be knocked back by this wave of love, of joy, divine recognition, knowing that they need to do nothing but be exactly who they were, exactly who they are, to be loved and seen, welcomed, acknowledged, and encouraged. Placing your hands to your heart center, I invite you to just feel with an open heart all of the love that this world has for you. If you're here on this call, I know that you are a loved being. You were so loved that somebody offered you the gift of welcoming you, inviting you into this sacred movement, into this space where we come together to empower each other in our dreams, where we weave with love and confidentiality, trust, commitment, clarity, respect, communication, focus, prudence, joy. These elements coming together. Somebody saw that in you. They welcomed you here. So I invite you to open up your heart to receive it. See if your shoulders can relax just a fraction of an inch more down away from the ears, down the spine. And if your next breath in can crack your heart open just a fraction of an inch more. Let that breath go. Let your body soften, welcoming yourself home, home to your heart. Placing now one hand on your heart and one hand on your upper belly. Just feeling that vibration of the solar. Actually, as I took my hand down there, my hand just wants to float in front of the solar. It's so activated. I'm just feeling that power of the sun. As without, so within. The sun that fuels our world is just a reflection of the inner sun, the inner power that we have fueling each and every one of us. That beautiful power center of the body. The center that drives us in our action. The action that connects us to our dreams. I'm sending gratitude right now to the center of our body, to the center of our personal sun. Thank you for shining, sun. Thank you, each of you, for being here, for opening up your solar, for opening up to shine. Softly allowing your eyes to open when you're ready. Getting present, getting related with all the beautiful women who are here together. The women, the men, there might be, I'm not sure if we have a man here or not, but just really welcoming humanity into this collective space of inner recognition. The sun shines on the moon, Hi Pedro. And the sun illuminates the light of the moon. So we thank the masculine energy of that sun, of that action, for illuminating the moon that we can see it so beautifully. We cannot look directly at the light of the sun without being overwhelmed. But when we see the moon lit up in all of her glory, we can recognize that it is that light of the all-powerful sun giving us this gift of the pulling of the tides, of the changing of emotions. And to complete this guided portion of the call before we open it up and really start our discussion, I just want to call into each of the elements that we weave with here, that we weave with in life, and that we mirror here in the mandalas. And asking each of you, what is one action that takes you closer to the dream that you are manifesting? For a fire, what's one action that brings finances into your life, that brings abundance into your world? Or is there a ceremony to burn your fears because you've completed your action, but you're ready to step into wind? As a wind, who do you need to blow to? Who do you love, trust, and respect? That one person that you can send the invitation to, the one action that brings this mandala to a more full and complete space. As an earth, what nutrition does your water or your winds need? What kind of call would nourish your mandala? Just tuning in to ask yourself what would feel good to share, because it's our job as the earth to feel good inside and reflect that to the outer world. As a water woman, how is your presence in your mandala? Do you know what's going on in the lives of all of the women who are here weaving with you and supporting you? Are you present to their daily lives? Do they know that you care about them and love them? And as an ether, are you present with the women you're accompanying? Are you tuning into them and available for their support? These are questions that inspire a space of simple action, acting from a space where you feel good, where your heart's open, where you're connected with your dream, and the purpose of your weaving is alive for you now. Thank you, everybody, for being with me in these practices. I'm going to turn this into a space now where we can start to open up discussion, dialogue, have questions, answers. So I see, Pedro, you've had your hand up for a moment. Thank you for your patience. I'm going to ask you to unmute, and if you'd like to share with us, please.
Hello, thank you so much. I was going to write that I have to leave, but thank you so much for all that I experience right now. And I'm emotional because I don't know why I'm wind, but what you talked about, the water woman being connected to the daily lives, of whoever is the mandala touched me, resonated in me, very powerful with everyone that I love. So thank you. I have to leave, but I'm leaving with this energy of love really rooted deep down inside.
Mm.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pedro.
And the rest of the call. Thank you.
Thank you. Blessings on your day.
Blessing.
Beautiful angels. Is there anything else that's come up for us? I can imagine that this is a beautiful thing that sparks movement inside of us. So there can be a lot of emotions moving and flowing. So this is a beautiful spot. If anybody'd like to share.
I'll share. I'll take the word.
Mm.
This was such an interesting activity. It brought up, I think, a discomfort that I'm used to in my body. I think it showed me that, how heavy my solar plexus is if I really tune into it. And I think I'm just accustomed to it. And it's an energy that's stuck so it was uncomfortable for me to do this experience. Like you said, it revealed, it wasn't all, oh, this is all wonderful. It revealed some challenges, and yeah, challenging energy. And I felt it also in different parts of my body. My shoulders and my back were standing out to me as well. So this was really interesting and food for thought. And how do I deal with this? Or just being I think the awareness will maybe make other things unfold. I hope to move this, because
Yeah.
I think it is stunting things in my life as much as I'm moving. So
Mhm.
this is another layer. So thank you for this, I don't know, like activity, this like awesome activity. It's deep. I'll pass the word.
Thanks, Chantal. I want to speak a little bit really quick also to if we're activating the solar and then things are coming up in other parts of our body, it might be an invitation for us to look to where would action grant me some freedom in this space. And so if you're feeling it in your back and your shoulders, that can be indicative of we're carrying something, like we're trying to carry a lot on our own. I'm really familiar with that feeling. And so what's an action? The question is, what's an action that we can take to not feel like we have to carry all of this on our own? So that might be an action like asking for help, or just speaking to what's there for us, or we're saying, you know what, I have to set a clear boundary here. I'm not going to do this. Like, where is the space where we're trying to take on the burdens of others, where maybe we don't have to do that, and we can say, you know what, this is not for me. Get really clear on what is for you. What is your heaven on earth? What are the actions that take you there? And then if you're taking actions that aren't aligned with that, we all get to give ourselves permission to stop doing that. Just let go. Oh, that's not aligned with me living in heaven, me living my truest dream. And so that's just some added food for thought with you there. I really appreciate you bringing that up, Chantal. Is there anything coming up for anybody else you'd like to share?
I'll say the word. Thank you, August Rose. You look so familiar, actually, to a soul that is sharing about energies and angels. I thought it was her so much. I'll share with you in private. So well known, such a beautiful sister. But we are individual and unique souls anyway, as you are in all your shiny space. So thank you for that. And I'm here with my winged sister, Jessica, who's got a yes already for her fire coming in on Sunday. Yay!
Yay!
It's such a blessing to receive yeses as wins. We have been carrying this in our generations. Our wins, also me, I started when ages ago, I call it ages ago, 5 years ago, I will also receive me as wind, yeses, directly from my chispas, from my sparkles, before meeting the water. So this is indeed, I know Jessica's dream. Then I'll pass the word to her if she feels like sharing. But what the call is, what the weaving, what you were saying, this Indira's web, no? Indeed, this interconnection that if the chispa sparkle feels it, because you are vibrating like that, your frequency is like that, the sparkle has no other choice to feel it, just to smell it. As you were saying in the visualization, how does it smell? The color is something from the subtle world. So may we have also that in all the sparkles of ours, because we're always whispering, right? And water now, for the second time, well, actually for the third, fourth, fifth time, but in this space, in this lineage. And we have just celebrated yesterday one of my wins, already water, because as maybe in your lineages, we have the spin of half mandala. We also have a quarter of cell spinning in our lineage, which is Ubuntu Untek. And so my wind, one of them, they already spun in 1 month. They did moon rhythm. So she completed her triad very fast. And she became, my earth became water, who is Myla, who is earth of Jessica. And she completed her run very quickly, her half also in a month. And now her wind, or my wind, is water. And she received 3 yeses yesterday after a 1 week open. So as you were saying, August, in this reminding of the spaces, is not utopia, this moon rhythm. I witnessed the most 5 yeses in one call, and this is what we want. But even so, when it's a bit longer, because I have been with myself, it has been very quickly, and maybe some other times a bit longer, is because we need to cleanse, right? Once we liberate from everything as a reflection of our lives, as you were saying, this heaviness carrying. So once we leave this backpack, in a way, of everything that doesn't exist, is when we start these synchronicities and this magic happening, and you say, it's so easy. I was there and it cost me so much before because it was the mind and everything else. So we want to share both sensations and feelings, because the most important is to live it, to make it happen. And as our earth was sharing, just in this trust of really jumping, and they say there should be 1 second between thinking and the decision. 1 second. Then you make it in the manifestation for anything that we are working on in our lives. So I just wanted to say infinite gratitude to this. And if it's a completion of one, it's a completion of everybody's. So may you all complete in your lineages. And just to the brother that left, unfortunately, when he was saying what you were talking about, the communication maybe of the waters, as waters, to really know what is going on in all the cell, in all the constellation. Jessica here, who is a wonderful soul in that sense, who, like, you wake up and you receive maybe a beautiful good morning saying, or with a sharing that she has. So it enlightens also you as waters, no? Only if she says good morning, beauty, it's only, it's a lot, because you know that that's all cares, and vice versa. And I shall also say maybe that some waters are shyer, some waters feel like, they're whispering for my dream. I need to be seen. So maybe if we have more communicative winds and you can help also your water souls, why don't you do that? Don't expect also your water to do it. And if it's winds that are a bit shyer, help each other. So then water's doing that. So the communication, when there are no boundaries, is amazing. And if also the earth can help each other to change from time to time the sides, there are no sides, we can have just one single heart. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you very much. Aho.
Aho. Thank you so much, Karen. That's really deep wisdom. Deep wisdom. I love what you said, especially just at the end. Like, we are all moving as one. There's no sides. This is all of what you spoke to, is the essence of we're all in this together. When one woman wins, when one individual wins, we all win together. And that's the reshifted, the recreated paradigm of this movement. It's so true. Thank you. Thank you. And anybody else like to share anything about your weaving journey? What's present for you?
I would like to thank you for all the exercises. It was very emotional. I started crying and I was feeling a lot of things also. And I don't know, my stomach is a little bit bloated today. I don't know. I ate something and it felt a little bit heavy also while I was feeling, everything. So I ended up crying as well. And I'm crying a lot lately. I don't even care anymore. I'm walking on the street and I'm crying, and I just take it as okay. There are tears that wants to come out. And going back to what you were saying, that if you are not getting results, it's because your actions are not being aligned with with your intention. Can you give an example? Because I think I have it, but somehow there is a part of me that I think it needs like a little sample, I don't know if you're getting me. I hope yes.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I would love that. Thank you so much for sharing your vulnerability. Yeah, thank you for being willing to go into the feeling. It's such potent medicine, and that's really why I am so inspired to do what I do, is because I know there's people like you who will show up and really be touched. So thank you for being my why. And yeah, so what's present for me about action is that action is just a measurement to witness where we're at in being our word. So there's this concept that integrity is to be our word. So when we speak, our word is our bond, or like we weave with the Toltec agreements, the 4 agreements. And the first of these agreements is to be impeccable with your word. And impeccable means without sin. And sin just means what's not aligned with truth. And so all of our words are aligned with truth when we are impeccable with our word. And so our action is that impeccability with our word. The action is what's going to show us how close are we to measuring up with the words that we speak. And so we may think with our brain that we're really connected to the why of the action, like say using the mandala as a perfect example, inviting women to join the movement. We may say, yes, like in my brain, I understand that this is a beautiful movement, that I want to be in the water position, that I want my water woman to be complete, that I think her dreams are amazing. And I know that what I need to do is invite somebody. So that's what I'm going to do. And when that's not showing up as being fulfilling, if we're not quite in a space where that knowing and that action of speaking and inviting isn't producing the result of a spark manifesting into our mandala, there's a disconnect. And the disconnect is usually going to be right here in the heart. So we can know things, and our brain can be really, really, really smart and can really try to convince us that it understands the heart. But the truth is, what's necessary for the heart to be activated is for us to actually be present to the feeling center, because it's the heart that brings the solar plexus, the activity center, up and connects the solar with our throat. So are we really truly connected to all of the feeling, all of the feeling of love? Like, are we connected with the feeling of love, which is the first of the 9 threads? It's the thread that weaves through them all. Are we connected with the love that we have for ourselves, with the love that we have for the water woman, with the love that we have for the woman that we're inviting, or the man, or whoever it is that we're inviting? Are we connected with the love that we feel is sparked inside of us by the dream that we're living into, and the love that is present in the dream of the water woman? And so if the love isn't present, then that's going to show up in the results of the action. So the result is always pointing to something. So if you ask a woman and she gives a no, it's a beautiful opportunity for us to look and just say, okay, where am I not fully connected? It's not about her. She said no. And maybe there's lots of reasons, and we could try to just, the mind will just say, oh, the reason's over there. She's the reason. She said no, it wasn't aligned for her. But the heart will say, okay, where am I, what do I want to be connected to that I'm not fully connected with yet? Because if I were really connected to unconditional love, the miracle frequency is present there. And in the miracle frequency, the mandala fills up in a day, right? In the miracle frequency, mandalas are spinning every moment of the day. This movement actually takes over everything, and our economy lives entirely inside of this. If this movement was continuously spinning in the way that it's designed to spin, would any of us ever do anything else for money but live our dreams? Of course not, right? We would live the reality of our dreams coming true, and we might be receiving financial abundance through our dreams as well, but it would continue to feed back into this mandala. And so my invitation would be, if you're feeling like your action, if you think your action's connected with your intention, that's great. That's a great start. But then look to the lower part of your heart. Look to your feeling center, even lower if you go down to the sacrum. See what feelings you're feeling. And it doesn't all have to be good. Like sometimes you might need to get connected with the sadness, or with the grief of a dream that didn't come true, or with the grief of your ancestors who weren't able to live in this fully expressed way, and getting connected to that might provide the pathway for you to experience the action that really makes the difference, or that provides the result that you're looking for. So I hope that was, does that help you?
Yes, it was great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think now I know why I was asking the question.
Thank you for
Thank
asking.
you. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. And Chantal, I see your hand is up.
Yes, like, wow, that was incredible. So much so that like I'm really receiving all of that in a different way, like less woo-ish, and like I'm really like, huh, if I want to live in miracle frequency. So my question is, you describe something, how something is connected to bring it up to your throat, but I couldn't quite grasp it. Can you repeat what you said if you remember it? There's some connection. It was very tangible seeming to me, if I understood it better. That
Sure.
it seemed like it forced you to talk or something, and it's some kind of connection in your. Okay, yeah. What was that you were saying?
Sure. Yeah. So our society is really used to going here to here, here to here, here to here,
Mhm.
mind to throat, mind to voice. Like use the
Mhm.
mind to create our words. And then we're like, the mind is also constantly in like, well, why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? And even as Jessica said, like, we think, well, I know my intention. I can see it. I can think about my intention. So I'm bringing it to my throat. And why is it not happening? And the assertion is that because there's something in this heart space that's not yet connected with the words that we're speaking. And the heart space is where we get the access to come down to our solar plexus, which is our activity center. It's the center of power. It's the energy behind the words that we're speaking. And the solar plexus is the pathway that the emotional body moves through. So our sacral center is responsible for our emotions and our relationships. So if we're not coming through the heart to get to the throat, then whatever it is that we're saying, no matter how much the mind thinks it's aligned with our intentions, it's not connected with the emotional center, with our relational center of why we're speaking the words. It's not connected with the thread of love that really love. So love is all that there really is. Anything that's not love is just an illusion. That's the way that I live life. And that's what in my studies I'm coming to discover more and more is the miracle frequency. The miracle frequency is love. And so if we're not connected with our heart, we're not connected with that miracle frequency that actually manifests the world that we're wanting to live in, the world of our dreams, or what I've been calling heaven on earth. Did that capture what you were looking for? Or is it there's a recording, so if there's something specific I said and you need to go back and listen, that'll be available too.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Yes, that helped all immensely.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you for asking, Chantal. Any other thoughts or questions? I'm going to close this at the top of the hour to be integrous with all of our time and honoring for everybody being here. So we have space for maybe one more if anybody else has something to share.
I just wanted to add from my personal experience and being a control freak, especially in Earth for so in so many generations. Not, I mean, directly with oneself, no, because we whip ourselves in the end. We have also bought so much guilt and so much demand that is not enough. And learning in the process that as long as we do these actionings in presence, we plant the seeds, we really connect with this intention of not like, I love you, not with my mind, but it's with the heart. The heart is speaking, right? So they say not anymore is I think, but it's only I feel, exists only I feel, not I think. This is exactly what Sister August was saying. So because there are only two, right? Love and fear. That doesn't exist on top of that. So that's why the only one is just love.
Mm-hmm.
And it is to just plant it, they say, and this is what I experienced, and it's just release it. Because you don't know the outcome. You don't know how it will be, if it's a sparkles or any projects. And you should be prepared also in this detachment for any outcome to understand that there's always one closing of door for an opening, even though we may not like it, even though we may not understand it with our minds. That every right moment, as a stereotype it says, is right for a major reason that is go beyond our understanding. So in that releasing of the gray spirit, yes, you, that is the gray spirit, you, the universe itself, you shall receive what is meant to be. Y ya está. Anybody, winds, waters in this receiving, everybody fire. So I just wanted to say that. So thank you for this call, August. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Jillian, did you want to share as well? I saw you come on, right?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I don't use this very often. So it's kind of a question that maybe I might even kind of ask on the back end, just because the call has been a little bit more focused in one direction, and I don't want to come in with a question that changes that, but I'm just curious maybe on a very quick insight on when people want to drop their threads in your mandala, and how you go about either honoring them, or I hate to say, like, asking them to hold on a little tighter and to not leave, but just maybe a brief thought on that.
Yeah.
I pass the word.
Thank you. This is perfect way to end this, I think. And it speaks, I think, a lot to what Karen was also just pouring into. Like, when we ask the question, we're asking not for the yes. Of course, the hope, the connection to the movement's continuum is that we receive the yes. But whatever we receive is the perfect medicine for that moment. And that's the perfect teacher for how we get more connected to our heart space, more connected to love. So when we've integrated somebody and, there's somebody integrated into the mandala and they're ready to drop their threads for whatever reason, they're feeling like they need to drop their threads. I've been through this in my own mandala 4 times. I've had 4 women drop their threads. 1 of my earths and 3 of my winds have dropped. And every time it was this presence for me of like, oh, I really want you to hold on. And it's not even for myself. I have trust that I'm going to be able to manifest another person who will fill your position, but really I want to see you complete. I don't want to see you walk away from this. And that's still coming from here, because in my heart, I'm here to honor your sacred yes. I'm here to honor your sacred no. And this is not a movement where we're supposed to be responsible for each other. It's a movement where we're completely responsible for our own inner wisdom and our own actions. And we're here to completely honor the yeses and the nos of our sisters and brothers. So I did, for one of them particularly that dropped their threads, I really held on to her. I really tried to invite her to come in and to be activated and to feel wanted and to know that I see her light, if only she could see it too. And the truth was, she has to be the one who's ready to see her light and to shine it. And if she drops her threads and next week realizes she's ready to see her light, then she's going to find another mandala to weave in. And it might even be yours if the position's still open, or it might be another one. And so what I've landed on now is that I would recommend that if somebody's ready to drop her threads, you celebrate her for knowing where she's at, and you really give her the opportunity to be empowered, even in doing something that's as hard as saying goodbye, because transition and change are some of the most challenging things for our mind to deal with, but it's the natural state of the heart and of our emotional center. So yeah, and I'm happy to talk more with you about that, Jillian, if you have more questions. And I actually would love to let all of you who are here today know, and anybody who's watching the recording, that I do have an open wind position in my mandala. I have 2 beautiful earths. I have 3 amazing winds, and we have 4 fires. So we're still seeking, or actually we have, I take that back. We have 3 fires. So we're really balanced, and we're ready for that fullness and the completion of that one wind to spiral open and in. So if anybody would like to speak with me about that, please reach out to me. I'm August Rose. You can find me on a lot of the weaving chats. And I really appreciate everybody for being here with us today. Thank you so much for taking the time from your busy schedule to tune in and to discover what that feeling center of your body is calling for in your life. May you all feel empowered to take action, not based on receiving a certain result, but with the intention to feel in your heart what's there. And blessings to your mandalas. Love you all. Thank you, sisters.
Alignment.
Alignment. Bye, everyone.
Thank